is train your parents to go look schedule, show them where the game bracket is so they're not texting you.
Thing is, I just need to know that
I,
you're only going to play one
a
game.
lot of the tournament games are 50 minutes because it's a running clock. Well, parents will say, well, let's go to set parents' expectations uh, of how to handle.
All right, welcome to Coaching Youth Hoops. Coach,
Coach.
how are you?
That wasn't bad. That was an hour, less than an hour
I know, and look. I'm
before.
going to point.
That's
Look.
what I'm most impressed
I'm
with is,
cleaning
yeah, coach is cleaning
other.
up his
I'm cleaning my office. So I've
what
got.
what motivated you to start that project?
What would your guess be?
Your wife.
1000%, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So anyway, and the problem is it's kind of like shirts and stuff. If you don't wear it, you shouldn't keep it. And it's like I have these
Right.
books, I haven't read them. I read them, but I'm not going to reread them probably. So
Yeah.
why not let someone else read them? It's kind of
Yeah.
my theory.
Yeah. Clean it up.
Yeah, and then I can start adding to my collection again. So it's like I'm not as quite as bad at books as I used to be, probably because my eyesight's not what it used to be. But
Yeah.
um
I still buy, I mean, I buy at least 2 books a month.
yeah, I buy books. I tend to listen to them more now.
But that's my escape from getting away from electronics and everything else is good book.
Good book.
And
Yeah.
then, yeah,
Makes me fall
anyway.
asleep, coach. I don't
Oh,
know.
see, okay, here's the trick. You got to find the time of day, whatever, that it doesn't. Because I'm like, oh, read a book before bed, put you to sleep, right? Oh, put me to sleep, but after one page. And I'm like,
Right.
took me a month to read,
Right.
a
A
small book. I'm
chapter.
like, this is ridiculous, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I got to front load that. So I made it a habit in the morning, just 10 pages every day. That's my minimum goal is at least 10
That's
pages.
a great idea. I
Yeah.
might steal
So
that.
get
That's what I'm doing with my workouts now, trying to get stronger and work on my balance and stuff. So I tend to do it. I do it when I feel like I got 5 minutes. I need a break. Part of this was I need a break from the stuff I'm doing. And
yeah.
yeah, you can't wait to the end. I can't wait to the end. Yeah. My head hits the pillow and I'm out.
Yeah.
All right. So today, sponsors. What are sponsors today, coach?
Yeah,
What are we gonna talk
coaches,
about?
go check out coachingyouthhoops.com for all your basketball needs. Everything
All.
from drills to practice plans to playbooks, offenses, defenses, everything you need. Stop searching and go to coachingyouthhoops.com. It's everything you need for an entire season. Start planning now. The season's right around the corner. Go to coachingyouthhoops.com.
And what else? We have a
And
little tease, don't we, coach?
yeah, we certainly do. This fall, coaches, get ready. We are launching our first tech product to make your job 110% easier. So go check it out. Go sign up. We're not going to give you much more information than what's on the website right now, but you are going to absolutely love it. It's going to help you analyze film quicker, faster, better, so you can just focus on coaching, really. Go check it out at coachingyouthhoops.com/AI. Again, coachingyouthhoops.com/AI. There's the
Right.
hint in the
There's a hint.
URL
There's a
as
little
well.
hint. There's a little hint.
Yeah.
Okay. So I haven't had to experience the topic that we're going to talk about today recently, but I have definitely experienced it probably why I have less hair than I used to.
Just went
Um,
through it this weekend, coach.
I know. So tell people the topic, coach.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about surviving the tournament weekend. So what does that mean? That means, okay, you have 3 games maybe on day one, championship games on day two. So all day Saturday you're sitting in the gym. Hopefully your games are scheduled back to back or a break in between, and you know, maybe it's a 3 to 4 hour experience, and then back for day two. But in that time, right, it's always a mixed bag. And that's what we always run into. Sometimes, you get it right where the competition is just perfect. Most of the time, it's either too easy or too hard, right? So, how do you get your kids ready to endure that many games back to back? How do you communicate with your parents? How do you fight through fatigue yourself as well as the kids? And then, the going from maybe a blowout win to a blowout loss, all within a matter of an hour and a half, right?
Right. And then you two-thirds of your team or a third of your team has to leave on Saturday night because they're going to play volley. I mean,
That's the other aspect. I can only stay for one game,
one
coach.
game today. Oh,
No.
again, that's one of I still have PTSD from that. It's like you're all
Yeah.
ready and everyone's there and you got nine people, and then after the first game they come up and go, Coach, the two of us have to go. We have a baseball. It's like, what? Like, it would have been nice to know that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, survival is part of it. It is. It's kind of a marathon a little bit.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think, even as us as coaches, it's exhausting,
Right.
right? We're not running up and down the court, but I mean, it's the mental game that tires you out. The strategy, constantly thinking, and which we're going to talk about in future podcasts about making in-game adjustments. But man, you're constantly looking and surveying, trying to everything.
Right. And the question is how do you, like, I just remember trying to build in breaks during the day, trying to break it up a little bit mentally, physically, maybe me going back and just laying in the hotel, and especially if you're not if you're on the road, just to,
Yeah,
kind of a separation thing, or letting people go have lunch. I mean, some of that is, I
right.
think you need a little bit of a break from each other too, because it's pretty intense. It's a lot of time together. But I think one of the big things is just kind of knowing what's going on.
Well, and I think, like for the younger
Communication.
people, yeah, who don't even, this is their first tournament, just getting more tournaments under your belt, and
Right.
as you get older, you're gonna be okay. You get used to
Right.
the grind, so to speak,
You
right?
take your tennis shoes off, you put your flip
That's right.
flops on. I mean, things you just
Make
know
sure
that
the
you need
water
to do.
bottles are full between games. You went to the bathroom, right? All
Right.
of those little things you kind of take for granted if you've never done it before. But I would say, even like, create a checklist for parents if especially if you have younger teams, or if this is the first tournament team that you have, is create that checklist of things they should bring, right? Water bottles, water, snacks for the kids for in
Right.
between games, light things, right? Not big sandwiches, depending on the game schedule. Show them where the game bracket is so they're not texting you where all the games are.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I think the other thing is train your parents to go look for the information too. And to your point is, if you're using an app, like I don't know, we use league apps, have used Team Snaps before to have the RSVP set, but train them on how to respond. So so how many players you're going to have that you can even do a tournament, right? And what I mean by that is you say, add a note. If you're a maybe, add a note. What's the note? Oh, if we got to leave by 3 p.m. because
Right.
we got a party to go to. Okay, perfect. We'll see if I can tell the tournament director I need games to end before 3,
Right.
whatever it might be, right? And so you got to train your parents to respond in that way.
Right. And that you need to know. Like, that was my thing, is I just need to know that
Right.
you're only going to play one game this weekend. I need to know,
Hmm.
because then I can go grab another player from another team, or I can find somebody to fill, because we can't play 4 games in 2 days with 5 guys, kind of thing,
Right.
or
Yeah, yeah,
five
yeah.
girls.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
that's, I think that's a big part of the like you said, I think the checklist falls into the same category: checklist, communication, knowing what's going on, when it's going on. Um, and
Yeah.
the
All the
younger, yeah,
logistics,
the
right? Yeah.
logistics is the biggest.
Hmm.
Yeah. Then
What
going
time
back to, yeah,
should come, right?
right. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, how are we going to make sure they have a good night's sleep? And again, it's a different if it's a tournament's 20 minutes from the house. That's a
Right.
little different.
Yeah.
And if you're traveling and staying overnight, then it's like, then you've got a whole different set of issues.
Well, and the other
Um,
thing too, I think, it go along with this, but it's a detail that you need to explain is So you have game one, and then you have a break. And a lot of the tournament games are 50 minutes because it's a running clock. Well, parents will say, "Well, let's go to Starbucks in between games." Well, hey, no, you need to be back here. You got to tell them, okay, that's fine, but you need to be back here. And the reason, maybe with at least 20 minutes before
Right.
tip
And
off.
usually I stayed around. I was watching other teams, so I'd say, "Hey, you can leave the kids here. You guys can go, and then come back."
That's right. Yeah.
Once you've done it long enough, it's like, "Whoa, hold on. That's my
Yeah.
leading scorer you're taking in that car with you." They can stay with me. I'll buy them a slushie at the concession stand or something, whatever. But I need
That's a
them to
good
stay
point. Yeah.
here. You
Yeah. Well, and it's that, and they're watching the game. They're also spending time with their teammates, right? There's that bonding aspect. Um, but it's also a mental aspect of they're not rushing in at the last minute, and it's about tip off time
Right,
and
right, right,
right.
right.
Stuff happens, traffic, whatever. Order didn't come out on time, right? So they're rushing to get back, or parents lost track of time. Yeah, so that's important. One topic though I do definitely want to tackle here is the swings in games. You win by a lot. Next game you lose by a lot, right? You have this high going into game two, and then you just get absolutely destroyed.
Mm.
Game three is right around the corner. What do you, what, or vice versa, right?
It's
I
hard.
think it's even worse, right? Where you get this huge loss, and then you
And I
feel a
don't know
little
if it works
defeated.
this way anymore, but I remember sometimes going back to back too, or
Oh
going
yeah,
8
definitely.
a.m., 8 a.m., and then not playing till 6 p.m.
Oh no, I haven't had that,
You
which
haven't
is
had
not
that.
what
I've
I
had
want.
that happen
Yeah.
too. It's like,
The
who's
tournament directors have been
scheduling this
pretty good about condensing the time.
time? Especially
You
the
know,
littles, probably more than the
yeah.
older. Yeah. You get to some of these big tournaments,
The bigger
it's,
ones are the local tournaments,
yeah.
but you're right. The bigger ones, yeah, definitely.
You might play 3 and 7 at night, and
Right.
you have to drive
Right.
in the night before because you got to be there, and then it's like you got to like you don't want at the hotel that night, and then what are you going to do because you got to check out by 11 and you don't play until 3, and then you got to drive home, and it's like yes. So a lot of that, there's a lot of logistical stuff that it's better to think about than not think about it, is what.
Well, but talk to me about how do you keep the kids motivated? In all of those situations, you're trying to keep the kids a big win, right? Going into the second game, it's like, hey, that might have been an easy team. Don't get or we just got our butts kicked and now we're going into the second game. How do you keep the kids focused? The distractions around,
And we
right?
usually had and it's hard.
Routine.
We usually had some sort of pre-game routine. We always did. We'd always go
Mm,
find some place to warm up, do some stretches,
hmm
everyone tends to have a ball with them. We did the same thing. I just wanted a little bit of routine, like bedtime routine for the people listening.
hmm
Um, so I wanted some sort of routine, even if it wasn't anything. We weren't on the court doing anything, but we were doing something. Hey,
That gets you game mode,
yes,
right?
gets you
Just
it
focus.
gets the fifth grader kind of, oh, we're going to start
hmm
playing now. And it's kind of a
hmm
trigger. Well, we just brushed our teeth and we're going to read our books and we're going to go to bed. It's kind of that trigger.
hmm
So it kind of changed. It got more and more in depth, obviously, as they got older, but it was just something to like, okay, and then I would tell the parents, the game's at 3. We're going to start our warm up, at 2:40, and we're going to meet under the tree outside of just the game feel, whatever it is, and
Yeah.
that's where we'll meet and we're going to do, and by the time they were older, I was doing visualization stuff. I was doing, let's everybody close their eyes for a couple of minutes. Let's forget about being in Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world, and let's refocus on the game that we got to play in 20 minutes. Hard to do
Yeah.
when they're
Yeah.
11 and they'd rather be on the water slide sometimes than to go play the game. So that I would always do that. The routine was the way to for me to reconnect them in some way. And it's hard because it's chaos. You got to leave the facility if you can. I have found that.
That's true. Yeah. And to
It's hard
get
to
even
do
to
it.
get some sunlight if you're
And it was hard in summer's easy.
summer's easy. Yeah.
January in Wisconsin, a little bit harder to
Yeah.
get outside to do that. You don't want to do that because it'll catch cold. But what about you, coach?
Yeah, no, the other, I was telling you on Saturday, I was in my first game was at 8 a.m., but then I stayed and watched some of our other teams play. I left the gym at 3 p.m., never stepped outside. in between because we literally had uh not me personally, but as a group, we had back to back to back games from 8 to 3. So we were constantly playing with the different teams. And I think at the end of the day, what I hear us saying here is be organized, come up with a routine, come up with a checklist, set parents' expectations uh, of how to handle game day, right? And even it doesn't matter if it's their third grade or fifth grade or eighth grade, it changes, or high school, right? They should still have an agenda, even if it's quite simple. If it's over a text, make sure everybody's on your text chain so you know if there's changes to the tournament, court that you're on. But just being super organized up front will save a lot of stress on you. I know I always stress. It's like that's why I always tell parents, get there at 45 minutes before because I
Right.
know they'll show up 30 minutes before, right? And
Right.
then I'm stressing like, oh my gosh, I only have four people right now.
I'm
So
always freaked out about that. It's like, oh
yeah,
crud, do I make, it was always the am I gonna have enough bodies? I don't know.
yes,
Um,
yeah, no, absolutely.
it's just, it's like, oh my goodness. It's like, I don't know. I was always worried about it. And I don't know. It was one of those things. All right. Anything else in closing, coach?
Yeah, no, coaches, just stay organized, communicate, create that checklist of, how to get through a tournament, especially in a travel tournaments, adds a whole nother layer of complexity to it. Just be super organized. If you're not the organizational type, find someone within your team that can help you do that because it's really important. Or else, otherwise, you're just going to field a lot of questions and then the same questions from multiple different parents. Teach them how to RSVP the correct way with notes, so you can even schedule wisely.
Right.
It just takes a lot of pre-work to stay organized within a tournament. And go check out Coaching Youth Hoops.
Yep.
Don't do all the work yourself this season. We've done it all. Lots of years of experience coaching youth basketball. We put all our knowledge together, all the stuff that we know that worked into one simple system. Go check it out at coachingyouthhoops.com.
All right. Till next week.
Till next week.